You won't get tired of that sound, and you won't get tired of seeing our faces as we're back with another 2025 NFL Draft Profile. Cravante churning them out, highlighting these great potential future NFL names we'll be seeing on Sundays.
Absolutely. It's an interesting time, but it's just one school that keeps coming up. And I think our good friend that we talking about next is from that very school.
Mykel Williams, 6'5", 260, out of Georgia. Cravante ran a 4.7 40. Real quick, I'll get the numbers just before you do your thing. 28 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks in 2022.
Mhm.
2023, 18 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, 2 PBUs, 1 forced fumble. And this past season, he did battle an ankle injury, but he still had 21 tackles, 8.5 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Mykel Williams, Cravante.
Man. Again, another Bulldog, another Georgia Bulldog. They it seems like they put a handful of guys in the draft pretty much every year, and half of them go in the first round. They have literally elite level talent all over the defense. I believe we've talked about. I think we talked about at least one player in each level. You know what I'm saying, of the defense, pretty much. Which just goes to show how great of a program Georgia has had that they have in the South. But Mykel Williams, uh, he looks like he was built in a lab. Um, I'm not sure if this is homegrown. I mean, he is down south, but my gosh, this is a huge guy. Like, he is a true, um, maybe not a true, like how they call space eaters, but he's huge. He's really big. Um, and he can play. He's like a hybrid defensive lineman because he can play inside, he can play outside. Um, his strength probably does not show up as much as it probably should if you're just looking at him. Um, he does not win. Well, actually, let me go strengths first. Um, Great length, um, enormous size, um, has impressive speed and flexibility for his size. Um, and he can play literally. He's like a chess piece on a defensive line. Um, But when you look at his size, it probably doesn't flash. His dominance does not flash as much as it probably is, as much you think it should. On as far as like off the television screen, he doesn't jump off the television screen with his dominance as far as, especially the interior. Um, Active hands, but not always effective. Um, but I think this is one of those things where at the next level, if he could get with somebody that could hone in on his skills, he could take the necessary next step because he has the versatility. I think he'll be great as probably like a three tech, just giving guards and centers hell. Like that's what he does. He's going to be disruptive from the interior position, and maybe on pass downs he plays on the outside, but um the flexibility, his versatility is what's gonna keep him around and keep him all over the place. Where an offensive coordinator or an offense in general cannot hone in on him because he double teamed this way, he double teamed that way, because he's gonna be all over the defensive line.
Have a pro comp, Cravante? Because one quick note I do have also, only 18 starts in 3 years. Obviously, he played behind great players, so that has a good portion to do with
Oof,
it.
oof. Yeah,
But a former 5-star recruit was going to go to USC, but flipped to Georgia, joins Kirby Smart. 18 starts, does that concern you? Seems like a guy that is only getting better.
absolutely. It's you always have to be wary of guys who don't have the um experience, because that's more teaching you're going to have to do. Well, let me sorry, there's more coaching that you're going to have to do at the next level. Now, some guys just God given talent, God gifted ability, but that's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that is a concern, but you see the talent is absolutely there. Now, because of that, the production probably isn't quite there. And also him playing on interior D line, they don't really rack up stats like that. But it is a concern, but this is still he's from Georgia and he played behind some great, outstanding, elite level talent. So he's learned from the best and he's in Georgia. So that football IQ is there. The potential for dominating a game is there. Um, so he'll be a great addition to anybody's defensive line.
Where do you see him going in your pro comp, Cavante, of Mr. Williams?
Hmm. Well, Mr. Williams go. I think late first, probably, probably a late first. He'll probably be just a little Um,
I'm pulling up the list
but
real quickly.
who's that? The Vikings, Rams are at. Trying to think who's at the back end.
Mm,
I think it's gonna
a
go in this
team like the Cardinals, Bengals,
sure.
Seahawks, Buccaneers, Broncos again. Steelers would love a guy like that to put next to TJ Watt. Remember, Cavante, they got to pay TJ Watt after this year.
Yeah.
Just saying. Chargers with Khalil Mack. You know, they want another guy. Packers could use somebody. Vikings, like you said. Uh, yeah, a lot of options. He won't probably go past the late 20s. I'm sure he won't make it. I don't see him going down to the Ravens, Lions, Commanders, and Bills.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The still the like you said, the Steelers will love him because he fits he kind of fits their mold. I could see him fitting in perfectly with like the Steelers or the Bills. Um, Todd Bowles, you know how Todd Bowles get down. And any of them guys mess around and fall, he's liable to pick up. Um, but yeah, I think he'll be in the back. I'll say the back half of the first round. And as far as comps, I had a couple. Trayvon Walker, he reminds me of, and also Gregory Rousseau is another comp.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a guy that you say. I think probably after he's probably third or fourth pass rusher off the board, and like any other draft, it's going to be a run on those type of guys. And once that run starts, it's like an avalanche.
Yep. Because it's almost like a panic. Because once you see one, it's like, all right, one's cool, but it's like, oh, it's two, gotta go. You got to get them because that's also it's a position that's a high demand. You're not doing it. If you ain't got enough, if you don't got them, you need to get them. That's one of them premium positions. Um, so yeah, and he's probably about 3 or 4, like you said, probably about 3 or 4 ranked. But I think he'll be the third bulldog off the board. So there'd be a small run on them too.
3 potential first round picks for the Georgia defense. They keep churning them out, Cavante, and we keep churning out these draft profiles, my guy.
Absolutely, and it's just so crazy because, like I said, he's the third guy, and pretty much they got somebody at each level of the defense that's elite. Is absolutely crazy. So get back like back in the day, because I was, as a Commanders fan, I was like, man, get them Roll Tide. I don't like Roll Tide as a program, but I like how they produce NFL talent. So bring them on. Now it's the Bulldogs, as you can see from the Eagles, what good they've done. So yeah.
We'll be keeping an eye on Mykel Williams coming out of the 2025 draft. Where does he go, and how does he project? Stay tuned for more draft profiles. Comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that bell. Only place giving you that draft coverage. How you want it, Cavante?
When you need it.
It's the Flex Zone. More draft profiles coming your way.